Hi, Mike. I'm here with Renee at 200 Summit Avenue, 1.845. This one had that price reduction, been on the market for 55 days, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 2,581 square feet. However, the main house is 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. And then the in-law, which is fully permitted and legal, it is actually a separate address, 200A Summit. That is 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and I don't know the actual square footage delineation, but we can look into that. But first, we thought we would just share a picture of the neighboring home, which
Fat.
is pretty fat. Never a bad thing to be next to a fat house like that. But a couple things to point out: this driveway was actually new and replaced. And then we'll get to the back deck. They completely replaced that as well. They did what we spoke about yesterday, which is underpinned. So they drilled down to bedrock for all the piers on the deck. So it's super solid. Spent about 100 grand on that. So we'll go ahead and go inside. Renee's going to step in and just talk about some of the things that I know you two have already discussed in terms of design changes. One thing to note is it's again the architectural design of the original plans, which they actually provided in the disclosures. So there's two sets of house plans. So not every home actually has them because most of these older homes, when you go to the city, there's no record, but they actually have them. But what I was getting to is you'll see there's a lot of angles in the home, which I do think is not for everyone because when you go inside, it kind of feels like a little bit of Disneylandish. But again, that's not any structural issues. It's just more of the design, and you can see right here. Part of this, actually, we didn't talk about. This isn't. There were some additions that were done to this, so that's why I think the design turned out the way it is when we're inside the home.
But
So
this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Coming in and it's just like really open.
it's got a grand feeling to it,
Yeah.
and lots of natural light coming through. This front door, although it's starting to come down based on the time of the day, but there are a lot of skylights throughout the home. So let's go in the garage. So one actual thing to note about, so we're sitting on top of the kitchen right now. So this is concrete, and not terrible. Again, considering all these homes are sitting on top of or built on top of a hill, this is actually not a bad crack. Here, most of the times they're actually longer and thicker. So I don't know if this was repaved recently, but it looks in decent shape. So that's the garage. Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms in the main home. So here we are on the wing. They are kind of bunched together. 2 of them are smaller. One of them is actually good size. Let's start on this one. So this is the smaller one. Renee has pointed out weird placement of the sconces, but as you can see, these exterior walls, they're slanted. So it's not that the room is moving, but it's just the design of the exterior. Okay, so that's room number 1. Here's room number 2. This one's decent sized. And then moving to bedroom number 3. This is probably one of the darker ones, which is why they probably put a skylight here.
We probably have to put some recessed lighting in all of the ceilings because these sconce placements are weird over here. Just randomly on the
Yeah,
side.
this one there. But you can see, so right here is a good picture of how much roof space that you have. So recessed lighting is not going to be an issue. And again, just thinking back to Del Casa with the beams, recessed lighting wouldn't have been possible there. So all this is drywall on top. So here's the first bathroom. Nothing to write home about. This looks super cheap.
Yeah. All this would be like Sia.
But livable. It's in good condition,
I wonder
clean.
if we could put a window here though.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Okay. Right. Anything's possible.
That's
with
just how
money.
much. And if you just thinking about,
It is a little slanted, but.
yeah, this floor here is slanted, and we talked about this prior to shooting this video, but one thing to like note for foundation stability is you want the lower you are, obviously, the more stable. So the fact that the top is slanted a little bit, the bottom isn't. So it's more of a, you know, the gravity thing. Okay, so staircase, Renee, I know you had already talked about
I would like to
redesigning
update the staircase with those floating stairs.
And part of the reason why is because we're gonna duck into the kitchen here. I think the vision is to knock down this wall, which is totally doable, or everything is doable. It's just, again, where the support, you probably will have a support beam here, because again, up on top is the garage. But if you were to knock down this wall and move these cabinets over here, because there's plenty of space, and move the refrigerator to there, you would basically just look into this staircase, right? So putting that floating staircase would kind of maintain or allow you to have more of an open feel, and then put a big ass island right here in the middle. Okay, and then here we have your dining area.
So this whole wall could just be pocket doors.
One big window out to the view. And then here to the living area, which we measured. Might be tough to get your current sectional across here. Sorry, Mike, if I'm moving too fast, you can always pause it. But we could make this feel a little bit open by taking out the sides, so the left and the right.
And then maybe straightening this.
Straightening
like, all the way up. We talked about doing a see-through fireplace. Get rid of this.
And you have your TV on top.
Yeah, and then this whole thing could also be pocket doors onto the outside. Yeah. Should we go outside?
Yep. Okay, so again, the lot size is a little under 9,000, so I haven't had a chance to look through all of the disclosures, but you can see pretty far out there. Most likely because of that lot size, that isn't going to be, a lot of it would fall under this property line. So the question is, would it be over here? Because here you have some flat and open area that you could have an outdoor area if, again, the property line allows for it. So that's just something that we'll have to look into. But this deck is brand new. They spent about $100,000 on it, and what we're standing on top of is, again, if you look down there, some of these piers were replaced and drilled down to bedrock. And this is a pretty big drop.
Yeah.
And all this was permitted by the city again. And then here you have your, well, I didn't even talk about the view.
Yeah, the view is really nice.
The view is awesome, like several of the properties we've seen. But you have these two awesome redwood trees right next to each other. So, you know, the reality is trees are liability. But again, when we're looking at homes in Mill Valley, there's going to be liability everywhere from trees.
The guttering might need to be redone.
Yeah, it does. That was actually called out in inspections.
Okay.
So you can see the roof. The roof actually has 8 to 10 years left on it, is what the inspection called out. So, you know, generally the technology on roof has changed and improved, especially with Tesla coming out with them. But you know, these roofs have like a 30-year lifespan, so it looks like this was probably replaced 20 years ago. Oh, that's a neighbor.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So unfortunately, we cannot see the other unit that has the other bedroom and bathroom because of the tenant. Is very clear. We're not supposed to disturb them, but we can arrange to see it. I imagine that it shouldn't. It's just a matter of coordination and planning. But for today, we didn't get permission. Let's see. And then master. So the master right here off of the living space. So good sized master. The little awkward slanted ceiling here can be addressed when you redo the staircase, but that's essentially what it is. Behind is the staircase, so that's where the architect comes in and sees how you can flatten that out with whatever redesign of your staircase. All right. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll just, I think I'm gonna send, Mike, I'll send you the disclosures electronically so you can have a chance to review them, and then just let me know when you wanna come back after your trip to take a look. All right, talk soon, bye.